Hello everyone and welcome to a new video review. This time I have here the Minichamps Red Bull Racing RB15 Honda as driven by Max Verstappen to victory at the 2019 Austrian Grand Prix. Just like the year before, Verstappen won the team's home race at the Red Bull Ring in front of a massive orange Dutch crowd. This time, however, he really had to work hard for it, as a bad start made him fall back as far as 8th. He battled through the field, aided by the normally dominant Mercs struggling in the hot conditions and high altitude. Max had a thrilling battle at the end of the race with Ferrari's Charles Leclerc, who started from pole. Verstappen was spurred on by the partisan crowd and Barge past Leclerc with 3 laps to go, denying the Monegasque his first win. The whole place erupted as he crossed the finish line for a very popular win. This was also the first time in 2019 a non-Mercedes driver was able to win a race, and the first win for Honda in Formula 1 since their comeback in 2015 with McLaren. So the Modelcar I have here is from the Verstappen Fanshop collection, which has different box art to the regular Minichamps version. And just like in 2018, Verstappen used a yellow helmet for this race as a tribute to his longtime sponsor Jumbo, the Dutch supermarket chain. And I already did an in-depth video review, and you'll find the link down below if you want to see that. So let's first have a look at the box. So it has a picture of Max with that yellow helmet celebrating the win. On the sides there's black and white pictures with Max, and then on these flaps you have his logo and all the information of the Modelcar and the number of limited edition. And then on the bottom, as usual, you have all the legal info. But let's have a look at the Modelcar now, and this is a Minichamps Diecast 1/18 scale model. And this Verstappen webshop model is slightly different than the regular Minichamps release, starting with the box, as I already showed you and already mentioned. So this version has a different driver figurine as well, punching the air, celebrating the win. As you can see, the helmet is also slightly tilted towards the crowds. The tires, the Pirelli sidewalls, are also different. This model depicts the car as it crossed the finish line. So it has the white compound Max finished the race on, as opposed to the yellow tires on the regular Minichamps version. And when I actually first received this model, it was a bit flawed, as the rear wing was in an awkward position. It looked as if the car backed up into a wall. So to fix this, I had to completely remove the rear wing, which was quite tricky as it's firmly connected and the DRS is also attached to the wing. But in the end, I managed to reposition it in a more realistic way, I think. Then on the top of the bulkhead here, you have these little wings. They were also badly positioned, pointing upwards instead of being almost horizontal. So these were had to be adjusted as well. Furthermore, I then added some race dirt to the model, as you can see here, especially on the nose, as it depicts the car crossing the finish line, as witnessed by the celebrating driving figurine and the white Pirelli compounds the car is on. So race dirt has also been added to the wheels, and the typical tire markings and barcode decals have been added as well to all the wheels. The only one that's slightly different to the rest is on the left front, where you'll see the barcode decal is actually missing. So the barcode, as you can see here on the rear tire, and that's because I tried to replicate the damage done to the tire wall, and in real life actually the barcode was smeared out along with another slight mark when Max touched wheels with Leclerc. As you can see here on the picture, the barcode is smeared out when he touched wheels with Leclerc, overtaking the Ferrari for the lead. So yeah, a little detail I try to add as an extra. So let's move to the front of the model now. And then you'll notice the wide for 2019 front wing. So the wider wing. And all of the extra aero bits are gone now, and the wing is actually much cleaner and simpler. And I do really like that curve in the wing, in the shape of the wing, as you can see here, where it goes up towards the outer edges. The end plates now are just one piece now as well, and has a nice shape bending down towards the end The footplate of the end plate still have these upside down tunnels or vortex generators. The cascades then of the front wing, they're not cut out as usual. This being a diecast model, it doesn't have the detailed photo etched slot gap separators, but since they are black on the real car, it wouldn't have been too visible either, so not a big miss there. Then the mandated flat centerpiece have these ballast pieces carved into it, which looks really nice. The nose then has this hollow tip, but it's a shame it's not a real hole, or at least a deeper one, and it's a configuration Red Bull has been using for quite some time now. The carbon texturing on it is pretty nice though, and if you then look further up the nose, you'll see these mandated cameras, and they have quite interesting connection points. Underneath then, the turning vanes are nicely cut out, as you can see, and they stretch all the way back forward, connecting to the underside of the nose here at the front at the Red Bull, Bull. Nice little detail are these quick release screws for the nose marked in red there. The suspension is a bit plasticky, but at least has some bit of carbon fiber texturing in it, not too bad. The brake ducts are nicely sculpted, especially those elements inside look really good. The front of the bulkhead then has this noticeable hump in it, with a little wing on it to feed the outlet of the S-duct, and I don't know if it's connected to the nose hole, so there you have the outlet. So I don't know if it's connected to the nose hole or if there's an opening somewhere else feeding it, but yeah. Then those little ears we talked about, and then behind you have this typical Red Bull aerial. The 360 camera behind it is actually not that detailed, which is a bit of a shame, and then you have a little fine antenna there as well on the right side. The front wheels then have these quite open spokes, so you can actually see right through the wheel. And too bad the part behind it is not that detailed, so no visible brake drums or discs or anything. And a little bit of detail wouldn't have hurt. Now it's just a plain grey piece behind it, so it's a bit of a shame. It's a bit of a plain sight. Moving along further, the barge board area is quite messy with all these flaps, wings and turning vanes all over the place. And especially this double-decker wing is actually quite impressive, and Minichamps did quite an okay job replicating all these intricate pieces. I don't think you could expect all these openings to be really cut out. You have that strengthening piece attached there, which is really nice, even though it's not really visible. And then the whole aero setup in front of the side pod inlets looks really good, but there's so much going on, and the mirrors are actually hidden inside a myriad of aero pieces there, as you can see. Under that, the floor is very detailed, so you have this little piece here and those 4 turning vanes under the side pod undercuts. They look really nice actually. Also notice that the floor changes carbon texture here, and the back part of the floor has these really nice cutout gills, and they look really detailed. It's really nice, nicely done by Minichamps. The halo then, there's nothing too special about it. There's a nice little panel here on the front, but that's basically it. Not too much detail on the halo. The helmet then of the driver figurine is kind of a unique focal point of this model with the special yellow Schuberth, and I think they did quite a good job replicating the shape of the helmet, especially with that rear wing on it. It's a bit of a shame that the wing on the model car is not a separate piece on the figurine, but it still looks okay. And impressively, the helmet on the model car has the blue handspring connectors, and as you can see here on the back, so these typical blue rings that Max uses, and then that Schuberth visor clip has also been really nicely replicated, I think. So the little clip there on the front of the visor, as you can see here on the half scale. The arm of the figurine then looks good and right to scale. The only downside is that there could have been slightly more creases visible. It's really tight fit. Okay, he's stretching his arm to the other side, so that's maybe why there are not a lot of creases in the fabric, but yeah, still looks okay. The rest of the figurine then and the seat belts. There are no separate pieces for the seat belts, just molded into the figurine with a decal over it. But yeah, since it's a bit hidden, it doesn't look too bad. The steering wheel then looks good with some texture details on it, and it has the correct shape, I believe. And I like the little extra decals they added on the top, the Aston Martin decal, and then on the back of the steering wheel as well. The pedal shifters then look okay, and the window on the cockpit as well. It's not really refined, but still looks okay, I guess. Then the airbox opening behind the driver has a textured inside to make it look like there's a grille, and looks pretty good, I think. Shame they didn't do that on the nose hole as well. The T-cam and the side camera are just plastic pieces, so nothing too special about that. The shape of the side pods then and the Coke bottle, they looks really nice. And the rear suspension has these metal colored rods sticking out, as you can see. And they unfortunately have snapped, as you can see, on both sides. And they can be put back into place, but there's too much force working on them, so they snap every time again after a while. But yeah, it is what it is. The engine cover then has this typical very high bulge, typical for the Honda powered cars. The number on the little shark fin is applied in a bit of a crooked way on the right side, as you can see. But yeah. The detailing in the rear wheels is actually very good with these Mercedes style bulges in the rims. So very nicely replicated. And the floor, as I mentioned, in front of the rear wheels is really detailed with these cutouts and all these extra pieces. The rear suspension looks nice with the carbon fiber detailing in the plastic. And then the repositioned rear wing, and as you can see, I put it in a more realistic horizontal position. The end plates then don't have any cutouts on the top, just like in real life. There's no cutouts anymore there. And the main plane is just one piece, so no two separate flaps, which is a bit of a shame, but yeah. The DRS then is firmly attached to the main plane and has this nice carbon texture on it. Then on the end plates you have these two big vertical slits in it, and these big horizontal cuts that almost every team uses nowadays. Sometimes they have gills in it, and sometimes just like this, just one big piece. And the inside of the end plate has a nice carbon texturing on it as well. The exhaust then sticks out under the DRS stem with the two intercooler pipes just above it, on either side of the DRS stem. The floor underneath and the crash structure looks quite plain, but has a bit of detailing in it. The diffuser then looks quite good. There's lots of detail to it with these vertical stakes, and then these wing pieces on top, and there's carbon fiber texturing on it as well. So to conclude, I think Minichamps did a decent job on this model car. This particular version is extra nice with the unique celebrating figurine. and with the added details I did to it, I'm really happy to have it, the Modelcar, in the collection. I actually missed out on the initial release, and being a Verstappen model limited to 500 pieces, it was quite hard to find one for a decent price, but together with the helmet I think this makes for a very nice set. So this was my review of the Minichamps RedBull Honda RB15 Austrian Grand Prix winner from the Verstappen webshop collection. I'd like to thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you soon in the next one. In the meantime, subscribe to the channel to see more of these kind of videos. Thanks again, and see you soon.